Not seeing it on my screen yet, so I think I'm not live yet. Oh, I think it's coming through now. Hey everyone. Hey. Oh, Miss G says hey. Sit in your seat. Sit in your seat. Hey Savage. Hey Brenda. Hey Helen. Hey Molly. How is everyone? Oh, this light is a little bit. Sorry, just adjusting. Thanks. Hey Gloriana. Hey Nakia. Miss G is talkative tonight. There's such bad weather today in the Isle of Man. They are, they said that the winds are going to be like 80 miles an hour tonight. And like, I think most of you know, like, I live, like, sea is right there. So it's just like, and I was at my dad's today, and the wind was just so, so, so loud. It was really crazy. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Chels. Chills. How was everyone? Did everyone have a good Christmas? Mine was good. It was just pretty relaxing and chill because obviously it was, I mean, like we don't have COVID here, thankfully, so we could do whatever we wanted, and I just spent the day with like my dad and my brother, and we do what we do every Christmas and watch Harry Potter. And then in the evening, like the people who live on the other, well, the people who own the house that I live in, they live on like the other side. So I like chatted and hung out with them last night. So it was nice. Yeah, Sonia was the winner of the goodie bag. So she's getting some cool Elwood stuff headed her way. I'm gonna do give away the shirts next. So whenever I do the season 5 finale, I'll give away one of the shirts, and you can pick whichever one, the OG one or the Gen Q one. Molly was on Rosie's live TikTok earlier. She said she's one of our favorite girlfriend, and she's really exciting and already fangirling over working with Kate, Leisha, and JBLs. Yeah, oh my God, that I didn't see her. I don't have TikTok, but yeah, oh my God, can you imagine like going on the L word? It would be so cool. Yes, Terry, I saw Wonder Woman. I got to see it early. I saw it in the cinema here because again, we don't have COVID. So I saw it on Sunday or Monday, Sunday or Monday, and I I really, really liked it, and I've watched it twice again, and I'm actually supposed to see it again tomorrow with someone. But my youngest sister, she just texted me like an hour or two ago, and she lives in Oregon. She was skiing yesterday for Christmas, and she asked me like, "Oh, what did you think?" And I said, "Oh, I liked it because I don't know whether you guys can see new picture. It's the artist for the Wonder Woman comics, Alex Cross. He did that painting, and I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. This light is like being weird today. And but my sister really didn't like it, and loads of people I know didn't like it. No, 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 no spoilers. I won't spoil do any spoilers, but I really liked it. So But I think maybe I was blinded by Gal Gadot because I have a weakness for middle-aged brunette actresses, as I have said many times on this channel. Gloriana, I thought it was pretty up there, like with the and Kristen Wiig, I really like her too. I thought she did a really good job as just her acting and everything was brilliant. Because obviously I don't want to say anything if people haven't seen it yet, but yeah, a lot of people didn't like the pacing of it and stuff, but I thought it was, just as good as the first one. Oh yeah. Oh well, Terry on the Isle of Man. It's if you've lived on the Isle of Man a long time, yeah, I have a good connections here because everyone knows everyone. Please tell me that Laura will have to kiss Rosie. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, like, I really don't think Rosie is going to be. She's only filming in January, so the she's probably going to be in 3 episodes at the most. I can't imagine she'd be able to shoot any more than that because they're filming the episodes in like 3 episode chunks. So, because she's got other work booked, I think afterwards. So I don't think she's going to be on it that much. Well, this next week we won't really get any news or anything coming out because they're still on break, and then I can't remember what date it is that they go. Let me just open my calendar. Mm. Oh, they go back on the 4th, so they go back a week on Monday to film and stuff. So hopefully we start getting some news because she books for another show. So yeah, the thing that she's booked to do afterwards, the other Showtime thing, she said that's airing in September and she's shooting that after the L Word. So I can't imagine that it's hard because I just can't see them releasing the show in the summer because it's just nobody releases new shows in the summer. So it's like, will that make them hold it then until September too, or will they be able to get it out like May or before? Hey Jack. Oh hey Heidi too. I didn't see you come in there. Yeah, so I really hope that this whole thing with the way they went back to filming on the 30th of November instead of waiting until, the 4th. Like, why would you go back and film for 3 weeks and then go on break? Like, there has to be a reason. They have to be pushed for time to do that. So I think that they've got like a goal date in mind that they're trying to film to work towards releasing season 2. Oh, Paul, you just rewatched 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that one I watched them obviously for the review, but I did watch them like 3 times. Last night I was watching seasons. Gino, no, come here. I was watching come here. Um, I was watching season 6 yesterday, and like some of the Bet and Tina stuff is so good, but that season it's just like, what is happening sometimes? But I wish that they'd the Jenny thing still annoys me now, like, they spent so much time doing it, and then nothing happened. But the rest of yeah, like, I'm looking forward to doing the rest of season 5 because that is just all the episodes in season 5 are really good. Like, there's not any that I don't like. Alright, alright. There's not any that I don't like. Sherry, she's not gonna be like she's not gonna be in every episode, and she's not going to be, like, in the like, in the credits, like a series regular, but she's going to be in season 2, but they haven't like, she's contracted and everything, that's all signed, but she hasn't said how many episodes she's doing. I would be surprised if it was more because 'cause they're doing 10 episodes in season 2. I'd be surprised if it was more than, like, 4 or 5, like, more than half. Yeah, I mean, Helen, Christmas was good, it just, like, because normally I'm around, like, my sisters and their husbands and my sister has 3 kids that are, like, really young, so it's really fun to be around them, like, the whole, like, Santa thing and stuff. So this year was just pretty chill because it was just my dad and my brother, and it was nice just, us, and we always watch Harry Potter and just, have a break from my diet too is nice. And yeah, just, this week I've just been seeing friends and stuff, so it's been really nice because we are super lucky here without having to do any of that social distancing stuff. My favorite episodes, I go back and forth. It's either season 5, episode 4, or season 5, episode 6. I like both of them. I normally say season 5, episode 4, because of the She-Bar kiss. Like, that's my favorite moment on the L Word. Oh, no, Terry, you are not the only person who watches the L Word over and over and over again. Definitely not alone. Oh, Sherry, you only discovered the show in August? Oh, so jealous. You I'm sure you've watched it a few times now already, but yeah, I've been rewatching the L Word since I watched it when it was on TV, like playing new episodes every week, and I've been rewatching it ever since. What's wrong? Molly, yeah. Sometimes the shoebox is just like, all right, you're gonna go over there and sit in your chair then if you're gonna be grumpy. Um, Plays over and over in my head again too. Oh yeah, I saw Laurel with the dog in the chair as a cute dog. Yeah, I've said this before, like I don't think there's anything to gain by saying things about the showrunners or the writers or the directors. Like, I'm just really grateful the show's come back, and I'm always gonna put a positive spin on it. And I would never ever like trash anyone in any way. It just like I hate when people do that on the internet and just be so mean, especially on Twitter. Like Twitter is so just sometimes people say like really horrible things and hey, we stop doing that. And I just if you don't like, what someone or just keep on scrolling. Like there's plenty of other stuff to see. So yeah, I don't really would never speak poorly about like the showrunner, writers, directors, anybody. It's a hard job too, like especially doing a show that it's hard enough doing a show, but doing one that has such a huge following and a huge fan base, and they're trying to do, like, the reboot or whatever you wanna call it, and no matter what, there's always gonna be things that people don't like. I'm probably gonna Sunny D Mirror? Probably pronouncing that terrible, but thank you so much. Gee, that is enough. Oh, Sherry, you live in Kentucky? That's cool. I'm glad you found the channel. Yeah, I never even I had a Twitter, like, a really, really long time ago when I think when the original L Word was airing, but it wasn't, like, not as many people had it then. And then I've had Facebook since, like, 2005. I was, like, one of the first 10,000 people or something on Facebook, and I got Instagram, but I use it for the channel a lot, but I don't use it as much in like, I use Facebook the most. I'm like an old person, my brother says, and Twitter, I only got for the channel, but I only use it like, the L Word stuff, like, my entire feed is just, like, other L Word accounts and you guys, and that's all I want to use it for because anytime that I look at anything else, it's just toxic. Who can you see getting together in season 2? Cheers. I really well, with, like, the Sophie Danny Finley thing, I think that it's going to be Sophie Finley, and I never thought about this until someone said it on social media, but I am really rooting for the Danny and Gigi thing. Like, Helen, I'm just gonna um, remove this because I just don't like linking to my like like a real last name on here. I don't mind like people knowing it who are on the channel a lot, but I don't like linking it in here in case like people Google me. Um, but I'm all about Gigi and Danny now. That's my new Generation Q ship, and I am really, really. I think this is going to be my new ship for Generation Q because I'm I'm not that sold on any of the other ones so far. Like I do really like Danny. I like Finley, but Sophie and Finley thing just like never struck a chord for me. But Gigi is definitely my favorite Generation Q character, and I do really like Danny as well. So I'm all about that. Yes, Miss G is angry that she is not the center of attention because she just wants to be the center of attention all the time. Oh, and Gigi, that would be really interesting because they're kind of like a similar personality, like, take charge alpha people, so they would be interesting. I'm really obviously Valentina, yes, but I'm I am intrigued about what they're going to do with Bet because it's just like Tina and Carrie are going to be around and they're not going to be in every episode. So is Bet gonna like I don't know whether they're gonna bring back Maya the reporter or they're going to have her date like a bunch of people or what they're gonna do. But it'll definitely she's going back into the art world. Will they bring someone in that way? Oh, Eileen. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but um, Danny and Gigi, even so, Danny works with Bet, and then Bet's obviously friends with Alice, like when, and then Alice like knows, Gigi through Nat and through their activities. But when we're at Bet's, something like when Bet was doing the election thing and they all, they have that Sophie and Finley have the connection through Alice. So they have kind of set them up a bit that it's not, they're not all a huge group of friends, but they are pretty easily connected to each other most of the way through work, like Danny and Bet, and then Sophie, Finley, and Alice. And then the younger ones like all live together. Yeah, Terry, that's why I kind of latched on Gigi. She's the one that I like the most out of Gen Q. Oh, Molly, when they did I think it was Marja that did an interview, and it basically, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it basically was like we were using Maya as kind of a look, Bet's going out on a first date with someone, like she's taking this step. And she said she was kind of surprised by the reaction that loads of people liked her because I think initially it was just to show that like Bet going on a first date and they had no intention to bring her back. So if the actress who played her has another show, like that wouldn't surprise me that Bet's going on, like um whatever version of Grinder, Tinder, whatever it is, or meeting people through like the art world now, or other, Alice setting her up something different that way. Oh, I did, Molly, now that you say Jodie, I did hear this through like loads and loads of grapevines. Someone that they're not deaf, but they have family members who are, and so they are fluent. They're a fluent signer, and there was somehow I can't even remember what it was, some event or something, and they ended up being in a room with Marlee Matlin, who played Jodie, and the person obviously likes the L word, and this was a while ago though, like a good when Gen Q season one was filming or had come out on TV, and she said, oh, would you ever do Generation Q or come back? And Marlee Matlin said that she'd be totally open to coming back and doing a cameo. And normally, like, I take all that with a huge pinch of salt because everyone says that. Like, Rachel Shelley says that, Sarah Shahi says that. But the thing with Marlee Matlin is that she is a really good friend of Jennifer Beals. And obviously, she's like one of the main people, but she's also an executive producer. So she could come back for like a cameo, especially with that going back into the art world. I really want the character Barbara Grisham to make an appearance. I really liked her character and chemistry with that. I've seen a lot of people say that they would really, because is it Dana Delaney, Danny Delaney? I can't remember the actress's name, but she used to be on Law and Order SVU like a really long time ago. But yeah, it would be so cool, like a characters like that didn't have like a huge big part in the original, and they bring them back like that. Like, even someone like James, like I've talked about him before because he's married to Julia Stiles and now he's not acting anymore. He works like behind the camera. He worked on Deadpool, but littler characters like that, I think would just be, it's where the people who watch the original show would know and appreciate it, but it's not too much that then new people who've only seen Generation Q are confused. So I would really like to see something like that. Uh, Tammy's in Dubai, so she can't come. She told me she can't come. Yeah, that's this the senator that is that was just the right name. Well, yeah, Barbara Grisham was the senator. Yeah, that Terry, that lady in the park was in the beginning of the episode, whenever they're going into, like, Bet's election party, she is the reporter who, like, interviews Bet, and then Bet sees her later when she's, like, out with Angie walking. Yeah, Malia, it's, the character that Griffin Dunn's playing is the new character in, like, the art world. Yeah, oh, I'd love to see Peggy Peabody back. I wish they would bring back Peggy and Helena. That would be awesome. Because I just I don't understand why they're not. Because we don't know how like, obviously, I want, 10, 12, a million seasons, but we really don't know how many seasons we're gonna get. So I really hope they don't try and hold on to, saying, "Oh, we're not gonna bring back older characters every season or something, because some I don't know, sometimes shows, they act like they need to prove that they can, like, stand on their own, but I just feel like, why wouldn't you tap into that? Because more people obviously wanna see the older characters back, and you can bring them in ways, like the way they did with Tina, like, you it helps that if you've seen the original and know what's going on, but the way that they wrote it, you also could pick up a lot from what they said. Like, you knew she was Bet's wife, you knew she was Angie's other mother. Like, it wasn't, too confusing for someone who had never seen it before. Like, obviously, they're not getting the whole story from the 6 seasons, but if they bring back Helena and people like that, I think it would just be so great. Oh, no worries, Deb. Have a good rest of your Boxing Day. Um, what the man in the art world get with someone not necessarily that well, I mean, there's no one on the like, unless he gets with Micah, but I don't know how, like, I mean, what, maybe through, like, Jose because he's an artist, but, like, Bet doesn't really know Micah unless, like, Danny introduced them. So, yeah, well, I don't think they'd be able to bring Kelly back now because Elizabeth Berkley, who played Kelly, she's in the new Saved by the Bell reboot. So maybe they finished filming it, but she's definitely working on that right now. But she could still be really like, we don't know what happened with her at at the very end, but obviously it was like getting awkward when she was like throwing herself at Bet and then Jenny was videotaping them. But she still has I'm sure she still all has that load of money and all the art that she bought. Hi, Gabrielle. Glad you can make it. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't been getting like any, not really any, I guess because like pretty much everybody isn't able to do anything for Christmas. And with them being on such a short break between filming, they're probably just, like, laying low. Yeah, Jennifer Beals and her good friend. Well, that like, a lot of the way the L Word used to operate was it happened with Marley Matlin, with Sybil Shepherd, with Clementine Ford. Just basically, sometimes someone would be like, "Oh, so and so wants to be on the show," and then they just write them in how. Happened like with Alexandra Hedson and loads of people like that. That they're just like, "Oh, this person wants to come on the show." I don't know. I'm thinking what else that we haven't talked about in one of my other ones. I think I showed you guys last time the the picture of them going on break. Let's see if I have it. Oh, for anyone who hasn't seen, I'll put it like a better picture later. But if you go on the ooh, it's a bit blurry. The links to the merch are in the info boxes under my videos now. So there's gonna be I'm definitely gonna do like a Battentina shirt and also one for like Dana, like as if it's like a shirt that you would wear like if you worked there with like a little Danish thing here. So they'll probably come out in the beginning of January. But the ones for right now, just there's the OG one with like all the casts or characters, and then the Generation Q one with all the characters. Um, like I think there's like 7 people who bought shirts, and then Sonia is getting one in like her goodie bag too. But I ordered some samples of them too, so like when they come, I'll show you guys. Oh yeah, when there was loads of people like Kobe Smulders was on the show before she got How I Met Your Mother, and I used to really like that show, but the ending completely ruined it for me. Like I don't even rewatch that show anymore, and I really like Alison Hannigan. She was in it too. Actually, Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Segel, they were all great. And then Jessica Capshaw was on The L Word, obviously before Grey's Anatomy too, and I always thought like, what they literally were on it, and the next year they got like their really big series role. Yeah, Molly is awful. Absolutely awful. It was really hard to end a show. I mean, but once like I think like Friends did a good job and things, but talking about endings to shows, like, the L Word was Bad News Bears too. Like, it was, such a good show, and then the ending, I was like, "What is happening here?" Let's see what, I'm gonna look on the L Word Reddit forum for some chit chat ideas. Was Eileen shaking in the episode with Jenny while they were doing some editing on the movie after they got back from the pink ride? No, she's never appeared on it. They for that the episode where they go on the pink ride, had they put out like this. I remember this when it happened. They had all these casting calls for like extras, and it was just for women who rode bikes, and that like most of the people in the background just replied to that casting call, and that's where all those people came from. What about Bet and Danny? I really I don't think that they'll be anything but a like mentor-mentee relationship, because I think but like Bet in the original show would have totally hooked up with Danny, because it's, you know, we saw with Nadia and other decisions that Bet made. But I'd like to think that now she's kind of grown and matured and is not going to make the same mistakes that she made before. But I do really like their like mentor mentee relationship thing. So I hope that continues. But I know that there's like a little subgroup of people like when I started doing my videos, there was so many people that would like respond and say that they wanted Bet and Danny to be together. Yeah, I agree, Molly. I think that Bet does, especially, that scene where they're in, like, the coffee shop and Bet's, like, telling Danny, like, basically, like, "Say please" and stuff. I think that Bet is seeing the things she used to do and, like, trying to help Danny along a bit with the mistakes that maybe Bet made. Bet always makes the same mistakes. Yeah, she does. Who knows how long they're going to tease Bet and Tina until that hopefully happens again. I think it's obvious that Danny likes Bet, the promotional video. Oh yeah, Danny totally likes Bet. Like it's 100% Bet stopping this from happening. T Hamilton, I agree with that. Because Danny looks at Bet with like those "I love you" eyes. And Bet's like, "I gotta keep this girl in check." Bet and Danny, no way. Danny is the mini Bet. That would be weird. But I do think that Bet will offer her a job. Remember their conversation out a piece of artwork in Bet's office. Yeah, I would be surprised if Bet, like the way she used to like bring James with her, where whichever job she had, I would be really surprised if they weren't still working together, that she'll, I don't know, Bet will get like a gallery again or something, and she'll bring Danny in as like a managerial position or something like that to keep her in, because they have to keep them in that orbit too. I mean, I know they have, if Finley and Sophie are the ones who get together, then they'll still have the connection with Alice, but that would completely ostracize like Danny and Micah. So they need to like bring them all into the fold that way, so that the show's more of an ensemble instead of just that one connection of like Alice, Sophie, and Finley. Oh, Molly, yeah, no one, no, everybody everybody loves that. Actually, the people on the podcast to Ellen back, they do not like Bet. And they do not like Tina either. They really don't like Bet and Tina. They are really funny though, but plus Pierre. Yeah, the Pierce, the um like he was like a campaign manager. I don't think I ever they never said what his exact like title was. But yeah, he when he was like, "This is something different for you." I think he was like Yeah, yeah, you're making the little, like, heart eyes at that. Does the LQ have a website where the fans can give input and um, no, oh, no. I mean, like, you can obviously, like, tweet or Instagram things, but most of them don't, especially the riders, they don't ever. I don't even know how you would send any form of feedback or anything because I just don't think that they do anything like that. Like, the not, like, official, but the website, the L Word Online, they have an Instagram one and stuff. I don't know how they're associated with the show. I think they had, like, the first and the biggest L Word website, like, way back when the show was originally on, but they're the only people who I ever see, like, like, when the show came back with season 1, Showtime gave them, like, stuff to give away and things, so I think they do have, like, a light connection, but it's not like it's, the writers or anyone aren't, like, associated with it as far as I know anyway. Yeah, Molly, they are really funny. The people who do To Ellen Back, the podcast, I do really love listening to it, and it's one of the rare things that I listen to and I actually laugh out loud, like, they are so funny. And it's kind because we have it's like those L Word inside jokes with them. I do really, really like it. I don't think Bette and Danny is strange at all. They have obvious chemistry. The good thing about those actresses is that they can take it either way. Right. Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, Jennifer Beals is just the best. And I think the woman who plays Danny, she is good too. Yes, I see that Sefida Mafi is developing a really strong fan following. A lot of people, like when I say Gigi's my favorite, like a lot of people have always said to me, "Oh yeah, she's my favorite too." And what I also really like about her is that she's liked a couple of my tweets and things like that. Like, she's obviously someone who she's paying attention to what's going on. She posts a lot of pictures, like, even, when she was obviously sick by a pool or something reading her script, she was, like, posting pic and she seems to be really excited to be on the show, and I, like, love that whenever an actor or actress is, like, really into the show Gloria, into the show, and they just she seems to really enjoy what she does, but also pays attention to what fans are saying too. So she seems like a really cool person too. So I think she's great, and she's handling the whole thing really well in my opinion. Penny, they, she's not gonna be like a series regular or anything. They have contracted her, like she's signed and everything, but they haven't said how many episodes she's gonna be in. Just like my opinion is that there's 10 episodes in season 2. I would be surprised if she was in more than, like, 5 or 6. I think most we would get her in would be 6 because the way they're filming the show, they're filming it in chunks, so instead of like, normally, episode 1, you film every single scene, and then you move on to episode 2, but what they're doing at the moment because of COVID is that they put together episode 1, 2, and 3, and then they go to the location and film every single thing in the 3 episodes that films at that one location. So say they go to Alice's house, and they could literally film a scene for episode 1, go change, a scene for episode 2, go change, film a scene for episode 3. So Rosie said that she's filming in January. So they've obviously been shooting episodes 1, 2, and 3 before Christmas. And then Rosie will probably be in 4, 5, and 6, which would probably indicate Tina's in 4, 5, and 6. And then Rosie's shooting something else. So I think that's what they're gonna be in, and maybe Tina will be in a few more. Maybe she'll be in, like, one before and one after, but that's just kind of what I've put together from the little bit of information we've got. Yeah, Molly, Tess is one of my after I do really like Danny and Finley, but, Tess is one of my favorite characters from Gen Q too, and Jamie Clayton is another person who I think that she has that good balance of she seems really, really excited to be on the show, and she seems super cool with, like, the fans and things like that, so yeah, she's another person that I really hope they give her a lot more to work with, and she's in it a lot more. And I also really do like the storyline of the whole, like working with addiction and stuff like that. So I think it'll be really interesting. And Gigi and Tess are definitely who I'm looking forward to the most of the Gen Q people in season 2, I think. Objectively, it is there. Promotionally, it was not. It was there. They obviously pushing Bet and Danny relationship. Danny seems the lead of the new kids. Yeah, I do think Danny, in the same sense that like Bet and like Eileen Chaikin always said, Bet and Jenny were the leads. They're the representation of her. Jenny, her when she was younger, and Bet, her now. And even when the show ends, like it ends with Bet and Jenny because that's where it all began. So I think Danny is, I don't want to say the new Bet, but she's like the definitely the focal point, and then everything kind of radiates out from her. Like she's the one with the serious relationship with Sophie, the same way like Bet and Tina and everything like that. They'd bond over getting her over Sophie and Tina. That would be great to see for me. No one can replace Kit, but Vet needs that type of relationship again. Yeah, I mean, a, l- a lot of people say this about the L Word, and I know they talk about this as well a lot on To Ellen Back, is that one thing that L Word did really well was the friendships and things like that. Like when I talk about, the party scene, or in season 4 when Phyllis's husband comes over and they're like all in bed, like hanging out and chatting and stuff, like Tasha, Alice, Helena. And I feel like that is me and my friends. And it's so relatable, and it's just such a nice thing. And I think that is a bit what's missing from Generation Q. And I totally understand we've only got 8 episodes. It's a new show. They're trying to bring old fans and new people in. And we've also had this huge time gap. And it's there. Like they are good at writing it, and they can do it again because we saw it with Alice and Bet and Shane. We went, gee, when they're together, you do get that feeling again of like the friendship and stuff. But with having to introduce Gloria, stop! Having to introduce the new characters and everything, I don't think the new ones have quite captured that friendship and things like that. So I really hope that now we have got to know them a little bit, that they will get that going again in season 2. With luck, Laurel Free, June prep for London show, Super Duper was yeah, I've said this before that I am planning on going to Laurel show in June, and of course, and anyone else who's going, I'm gonna set up like a Facebook group. I'd love to take anyone who wants to meet, to go to dinner the night before as like a thank you for being a subscriber and everything, and just chat and obviously meet in real life. The only thing is, I'm just worried about the state of the world and if things will be fine by then. I know it's a while off now in in the summer. So because where I am doesn't have COVID, so they just changed. Before, when you went away, you had to isolate for 2 weeks, and now you have to go. If you go away, you have to isolate. You have to get a test on day one and a test on day 13. And if you don't get a test, you have to isolate for 21 days. So it's pretty strict. Oh, Martina Carmen will not be on the show. We know that for sure because Sarah Shahi, even if it doesn't matter if she's busy or not, the showrunner has said that Sarah Shahi is uh, on one side she does have like I think her mom has Spanish ancestry, but the her dad is Middle Eastern. So what the showrunner said is that basically they want if they're having Latinx characters, they want them to be played by Latinx actors and actresses. So I think the exact thing she said was, "We've moved on from that, like culturally or whatever." So the showrunner has definitely said no, Carmen is not coming back because Sarah Shahi did really want to come back and said she would. And then when the showrunner said that, she was like, "Oh, okay, like, obviously I can't come back." So then she signed up for another Netflix show. I think by the end of the season, Sophie and Finley will be together, but I think Sophie will pick Danny at the airport. That choice will create more drama and storylines. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really interesting whatever happens because obviously they're all like living together and all their lives are, wound together and they were engaged and all these things. I don't know why I keep thinking about like Sophie and Finley, but no matter what happens, it's going to have huge repercussions, and it'll be interesting to see what the non-chosen person does too. Like, if it is Sophie and Finley, like, will Danny go off the rails like that, like in season two or season two original? So it'll be interesting. I really hope the writers don't do any more scenes like the opening. I hated that, just thought it was unnecessarily gratuitous shock scene. Yeah, I kind of felt like that's a lot of people said to me they did that to try and say this is not, like some people are like, oh, this is a lesbian, show, like, oh, it'll be hot to watch or something, and trying to deter those type of people from watching it. But yeah, I do think it was necessary to start the first episode that way too. Sherry, what was the overall reaction with Carrie being Rosie O'Donnell? Well, Sherry, if you wanna read some of the comments, I did a video on it for day 10 of my advent calendar, and when the last time I looked at it, like when the L Word, like there was new episodes coming on, like I got my videos would have like a lot, 70,000 views or whatever, 10,000, 14,000. But when it's like this, between when there's no new episodes, like my videos only get a couple of thousand views, but that one about the Rosie O'Donnell thing, it had 23,000 views and it's only been out for like 2 weeks, and so many comments. I saw, like, loads of different L Word groups that I'm in, people sharing it, and in those L Word Facebook groups, some people were really, really angry, and like I said, I like to look at the positive of things, and some people went really, really crazy. If you look at season 1 of the OG, there was 5 main characters, that's it, with 13 episodes to develop. There was lots of newbies for Gen Q with only 8 episodes. Yeah, no, you're totally right, Molly. I also think it's a huge thing that, I mean, no matter what, like I said, I will always look at the positive. Even if in the show they had Alice, Bette, and Shane, like, painting a wall, I would still watch it. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not someone that's gonna hold my viewership hostage and say, "I'm not gonna watch it unless this, this, and this." But I, even me, like, who's being positive and who's gonna watch it no matter what, like, I went in with expectations because I've watched Bet, Alice, and Shane for all these years, and I absolutely love the show. It's my favorite show, and there's people all over the world who watch The L Word and lie somewhere in between. They watched one episode and they hated it, all the way up to me saying it's my favorite show and I've rewatched it a million times. So trying to live up to the expectations, to give the people who like the original enough, like, little callbacks and give them enough that Alice and Shane, while also bringing in this new cast and trying to cater to a new audience. Because another thing that happens a lot with the L Word is that now people who are a lot younger and who watch the show, people who are like 20 now and watch the show, is the show perfect? Of course not. Does the show have problems? Of course it does. But I also don't think those people are justified in basically writing the whole show off and saying, "Oh, it's so terrible, they're all toxic, blah, blah." So it's it's such a hard thing for them to do, and even looking at it like that, like, 8 episodes is not a lot of time, and they did have so many new characters as well as these old characters with huge amounts of, like, baggage and already character development, and all of the writers and directors, the showrunner, they're all new. So it's like Jennifer Beals, Leisha Haley, and Kate Manning are the only people that are coming in, and if you go back in my really old videos, there's a video that I talk about, the leaked script from Generation Q season 1, and the scene with Angie and Bet at the end. If you read the script, it's very, very different. The way they talk about Tina and the whole way that Bet, like, conducts herself to Angie, and I don't know this for a fact, but my opinion is that that was the script that was written, and then Jennifer Beals said, "Hang on a second, I know this character in and out. I played her for 6 years. She would never say this, or she would never imply this, or she would never take this tone, or she'd never say that in front of her daughter." And although if you just, I don't know, you gave someone like my dad who's never seen the show and said, "Look at the differences between these 2 scripts," he'd probably say, "Oh, there's only like a little, they're basically saying the same thing, but maybe there's a little bit of a difference." But people like us who know the character and love the show would look at them and say, "There's all the difference in the world here because one is Bet and one is not." So they're also trying to get that feeling back of the old characters, and they are really lucky that they have 3 great actresses on as executive producers as well. either way by mid-season. I did not want Danny and Sophie together. I think they want yeah, I do think they wanted them to be the new Tibet, but I agree. I'm not invested in them either. Is that I like Danny, but I cannot. And the showrunner always says that she identifies most with Sophie, and that's why Sophie, like her face opens the season and then her face ends the season. But yeah, I'm not totally like invested in them. Like if the show comes back and Sophie chooses Danny or Sophie chooses Finley, like I will kind of just be like, oh, okay, like I'm more interested in other stuff and other people. Oh no, Molly, you're back in lockdown. Like I said, we are so lucky here that we don't have it. We don't have COVID. Oh yeah, Chicky about Sophie Gianamore, Geordie, she's definitely coming back. I'm not sure for how many episodes, but she is definitely coming back. Yeah, I think that Laurel within the next mm, within the next month will make a decision about London. And yeah, London's on tier 4 right now, and I don't think that well, I don't think London or England is feeling the full effects of what happened yesterday because people did see each other yesterday. And Glory, in 2 weeks, all of that, people will be testing positive from yesterday in 2 weeks or whatever. I'm excited to have more docs on set with Shane finding the stray in the last episode. You know what, Molly? The dogs and cats in this show are so underdeveloped because lesbians have a lot of dogs and cats. And Glory, shush! And it just we saw Mr. Piddles in the original, and that was it. Yeah, Laura bought a new house, but like she had a house there before too, and that's where she paints. And then she has a show in LA too. Like she does shows all over the place. That's a good point, Chicky. Rosie could have something to do with the financial side of the show because this like that doesn't always come to light. Like when I was a teenager, well, I still am a really big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I thought I knew everything about that show and everybody who was in it. And it only came out like really recently, like this year, that Dolly Parton basically financed that show. So it could be something like that where Rosie is, you know, involved with the show financially, but it's in a company that's a company that's a company, and it's not like, she doesn't have her name on it as a producer or something. Or she could just be in it, like because she shot a show that this month, and she's shooting another one after Generation Q. So, and she's done a lot of work. She did from all the way back from a League of Their Own and all that. Oh, um, Gabrielle, Gabrielle, do you live in California? I'm so surprised by a lot of people I see on social media that you wouldn't think there was anything going on because they were mixing with, huge groups of people, no masks or no um, social distancing. Chicky, did you get your Laura Holloman print uh, framed? I saw your message at the very top of the chat when I like logged in to check it was working. Yeah, Jack, you're right about Laurel, and she wouldn't back away from her business decision. But plus, if you haven't listened to or watched my video about Laurel on the Pants podcast? It's called Tina on the Pants podcast. I think it was day 9 in my advent calendar, and I talk a lot about how Laurel, and I've put clips in it of Laurel talking too, about how she loved doing the show and everything, and she tells a really good story, not good that way, but like it's very poignant about the um the job that she had on Castle in one episode after the L word, and how this like skeezy guy like said to her, "Oh, you're on the L word," and like, making comments and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, I've been living in this bubble that was so nice and working on this woman show." And yeah, I think it's clear that Laurel came back because she loves the show and loves the cast and crew and everything, and she wouldn't do it for any other show but this one. And it was just, she talked about how much she loves the fans and everybody too. So I think it was she came back for the L word, not to come back to acting. Yeah, Molly, I agree. At least we're getting content. Oh, hey, Striker. Oh, Terry, they're saying it's bad they arrest and fine people. We put them in jail because we don't have COVID. Literally, if you like, you have to isolate for 2 weeks. And I mean, you cannot leave your house. When I isolated, I had to like make sure I had all the groceries in beforehand. And my dad would like drop stuff like at the bottom of my stairs for me. And there was a guy last week, I told this story in one of my videos. This guy, he came, he came here on a work visa for like a few weeks. And when he was here, he isolated for 2 weeks and then he went out and because again, we don't have COVID, our nightclubs are packed. My brother's out there right now. Like, we don't mask, no social distancing. And so this guy ended up meeting a girl and then he had to leave because his work was finished. And he tried 3 times to get approval to come back, but you have to be a resident here at the moment to come here because everybody wants to come here because we don't have COVID. And they turned him down. So he bought a jet ski and he lives in Scotland. And if you could see the sea right now, like there's 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's insane. And this guy, it was supposed to take him 45 minutes on a jet ski. It took him 4.5 hours, and he only had 10 minutes of fuel left. He got here and was here for like 3 days, and then somebody told the police, and the police went and arrested him. And then the girl told the story. It was in the New York Times, it was everywhere. And then she was on the front page of our newspaper the other day saying, "Let my jet ski Romeo stay." And he got out after 2 weeks in jail. But and I mean, nothing happens on the Isle of Man. It's very quiet. And I think it was Tuesday, they made him leave on the boat, and all the newspapers were down there taking pictures. It's like, this is really what the world has come to. So I'm just trying to catch up to what everyone's saying. T. Hamilton, not straight away. I said that there was a list of things people wanted. It could happen at the appropriate time, but if Tibet was okay, people would be upset not having seen the wedding. Yeah, that is true too. yeah, like, people are always there's always gonna be someone upset about you're never gonna please everyone, but I was so sorry when we Glory, sit on your chair. Sit on your chair. Always start this. Get sit on the chair. I was so sorry when I heard about the Tibet divorce. I was hoping for Tibet Wedding and second series. We never got to see that, and I felt robbed, but it's highly unlikely they would marry twice. Yeah, and oh, bye, Terry. I just don't. Shows like this, the Showtime shows with only 8, 10, 13 episodes, they just normally don't have the fluff of episodes, like, a show like Grey's Anatomy that has 24 episodes a season and this enormous budget and a huge cast and writers and everybody, they have an episode or 2 episodes to dedicate to Callie and Arizona's wedding or Derek and Meredith's wedding, but a show like this generally is not going to have that. And even when they have kids and stuff, like, it's gonna be small like, like, when Angie was born, it was just the little few scenes and end of the episode. It's not like this big, sweeps event. Oh, lost my place. Yeah, I mean, T. Hamilton's right too, like, people do get divorced and remarried. It does happen, and but also, this is television, like, they can get away with whatever they want. Look at another again, Grey's Anatomy. Meredith Grey has been, like, bombed, a shooting, she nearly drowned, a plane crash, a train crash, a ferry crash. Like, I could keep her sister died in a plane crash. Her, friend lost her leg in a plane like, the list goes on and on and on. If this happened to a real person, they would have, like, a nervous breakdown, and even the patients that come to Grey's Anatomy, like, they have every rare case in the entire world. It's TV, like, they can do what they want, so it's not out of the question. Glory, shut up. Yeah, again, T. Hamilton, I think you're right there about 4 or 5 seasons. I I mean, it's rare that a Showtime show goes more than 5 seasons, and The L Word was kind of like, the 6th season was only 8 episodes, and, I mean, like, obviously Shameless, you said, and then Dexter, but Dexter's coming back too. I love that show, but the last season and the ending again, Showtime with the endings. What is it? They have these great shows and they have terrible last episodes. Oh, Sherry, yeah, a lot of people say that, but it's not true. And I don't I don't, like, talk about their personal private lives, like their kids or their families or anything, just because they are private people who've said before that they don't really like that side of, like, like, I'm just trying to respect what they say, but some people do. I mean, this isn't really that, so them talk about them not being friends after the show. I think it was just a case of they worked together and they were really eh, like great at what they did working together. I think they got along fine, but it's like I changed my job in the beginning of October, and like I have like a work wife, and I saw her on the 23rd. She's a really good friend and stuff, but most other people, and these are people that I saw every day and I was friendly with and things, but it's just like when you don't work together every day, you only stay in touch with, like, a handful of people that are, like, actually your friends and not just, like, work people, so I think it was just something as simple as that, and obviously, they were still friendly because Laurel came back to the show, and also when Laurel did come back to the show, that could have been it, that could have been, like, a one-off thing, and then it was just after, I think, either episode 7 or episode 8, and Jennifer Beals and Laura Holloman, like, they met up on a beach, and there's pictures of them, like, and they have, like, a fleece, and then they're, like, jumping, and I personally think that Jennifer Beals went to Laurel and basically said, I want you to come back on the show, and this now is her coming back on the show. So, I mean, that even like when she was on Pants, they all seem to get along really well. I know some people say different than what I'm saying, but I just don't think if I don't think Laura would have come back if she didn't want to, because she has this whole not only has this whole other career, but she has a really easy out. She hasn't acted in 10 years. If she didn't wanna come back and didn't get along with everyone, she could just say, "No, thanks, I'm cool, like, I'm done with acting," and no one like, that's what everyone was assuming was happening anyway, so no one would have batted an eyelid, but, yeah, I just think that they're work friends and people that are really good at their jobs, but outside of that, they're not, you know, best friends like Leisha and Kate are. I think I'm caught up now. Thanks, Sonia. I know that there's like it's mostly on Twitter again that I see this, that people talk a lot about it's either one way or another, like the two extremes. And I guess that I just always am more in the middle. Oh, hey, Barbara. Oh, I'm glad you're home. It is, well, maybe it's past you guys in England now, or maybe it's coming your way because it is wild here at the moment. It's like 80-mile-an-hour winds here. No worries, Sherry. That's what this is for. Question away anytime. I don't know. Do you guys have any other questions this evening? I'm trying to think about if there's anything else that I write these sometimes. I think because I've been doing a video every day that I've done all my list of ideas of talking about things. Because yeah, let me see. Oh, Brenda is, yeah, it must be right over us right now. Yeah, Steph, I'm pretty. They all aren't going back on the 4th because the way they're shooting everything right now, ugh, that it's so different. Oh, bye, Peter. Thanks so much for coming. Um, it's just such a logical mess, like the way Leisha went back first, and then Kate, and then Jennifer, and so everybody, and probably like this is what normally happens, but again, this is such a weird way they're filming. That Okay, like Leisha went back on the 30th, and for 2, 3 weeks before that, there's all the camera crew and DP and set people, all of that are setting everything, getting everything prepared for the 2 weeks before that. So normally, if there's a big break like this, they do, like the camera people mostly go back before and have like a few days to get everything sorted again. But they haven't really been, they've only been off for 2 weeks, but it just depends what they're going to be filming too, and how complicated or how many people it involves. And not everyone will be going back, but um the 4th, the people will be on set, yeah. About 4 years ago, I heard a long radio interview with Laurel about her art. In it, she was questioned very firmly about whether she'd do another L word. She didn't flinch and said she definitely would. Yeah, I mean, like, this is, and I, again, like, I know people who worked on the show. I know the people who ran the L word conventions here. I know them, and I know people that work for them, and I have just always been told everyone who works on the show is a wonderful person and they all get on great. But of course, people like Alicia and Kate, like they are best friends. So I I think that they had a really unique and amazing community too. And whenever they talk about it on Pants, like you can tell how they always refer to it as lightning in a bottle because it was such a rare thing, and I think it just shows in how hard they fought to get the show back and to get Laurel back on it, who again had a super easy out. I find Alice and Gigi have good chemistry. I think her and Alice fit better together than her and Nat. Reminds me of Tasha in a way where I like, but I feel Alice will get bored. So originally, Gigi and Alice were my ship because I always liked Alice a lot. Like she was always, Bet was my favorite character always. And ever since Generation Q, like, yes, I liked Alice a lot before, but I absolutely love Alice now. And I would love her and Gigi. And then obviously when that whole like thing happened, I feel like YouTube if I say that. But they I think with Alice, them making it clear that her and Matt are together. So I think Danny and Gigi would be a fun ship, but I could totally get behind Alice and Gigi too. Wouldn't it be funny if Alice became the stable character now at Generation Q? Because she's the only character that ended on a high note. Yeah. Well, she that's what I said when Leisha posted on the first day that Alice thing. I was like, guess her show got renewed because it says season 2 on the poster of Alice. And yeah, she's to get, and everyone else, Shane, well, the Dana stuff, and then Kiara, and then Bet with, you know, not becoming mayor, and then the Tina thing, and oh yeah. That's why I was kind of a bit surprised they wrapped that up with Bet so quickly. I thought they were going to, like, leave Bet in that place, and then maybe we'd have, like, an episode or 2 of her, like, getting herself back up again, but then I am glad that they, showed her, like, pulling herself up again because I can relate. I also think Sophie is one of the showrunner's favorites. She gave romantic choices. If recreation of Tibet with Danny doesn't work, try recreating BFF Fall in Love with Dan, Alice and Dana with Finley. You're 100% right, T. Hamilton, because I read an interview with the showrunner where she said Sophie is her favorite character because she totally relates to Sophie. And I think I was saying this before, like when the season starts, it starts with a close-up of Sophie's face, and then when it ends, it's her looking in the airport. But yeah, she's definitely said that Sophie is her favorite. Season 6, why when they ended, Bet was holding Jenny's hand, not Tina, because Tina was walking behind them. Oh, that it's just what I was saying before about Eileen Chapin, who's the showrunner, has always said that Bet and Jenny are the main characters, and that Jenny represents younger her, and Bet represents like older her now slash then when season 6 ended. So it's just like supposed to be like a fun nod, as in, you know, this is where the show came from. These characters are like the same side of the different sides of the same coin, basically. It's not like anything romantic or anything. No, Steph, I didn't like the ending. I was actually extremely angry with the ending. I just, I forgive a lot about that word, and I will always defend it and always look for the positivity. But what they did with Jenny's storyline, I mean, there's no defending that. Like, why? What were they doing? I really liked Alice and Tasha. They definitely created a lot of artificial problems for them that weren't necessary. I really wish we would get Tasha back and that we would find out what happened because, again, I'm just like, well, Alice always gets screwed and relationships and stuff, like, it never really works out for her, but I just wanna know what happened to Tasha, like, where is she? What happened? Did her and Alex break up after, like, 6 months after season 6, or did they break up 6 months before Gen Q started? Like, a little indication would be nice. Yeah, Tibetan season 6 is the only really good thing about season 6. I don't think I've ever oh, sorry, Gloriana, it's hiding your message for some reason. Oh, it's 'cause season 6. Um, oh, my mouse isn't working now. I don't know anyone, and like I said, like, I normally am so positive about the L Word. I don't know anyone who liked the ending to season 6. If you liked the ending to season 6, tell me in the chat because I seriously can't remember ever talking to anyone who did. Yeah, I think, Danny and, will come with that into the art world. I think it would be, like, really in because it'll be something so different from what Danny's she worked for her dad basically before, and she has a really good education and stuff, but still, when, like, I have worked with so many people who are the the child of something, and, like, they always act like, "Oh, they've worked together and stuff too," and it's like, you are nepotism at its finest. It's very different to work in a real company than work for your parents. So I think Danny still just seemed really good at her job, and she seems to have had a really good education. But I think it will be very different for her to go into the art world where maybe she doesn't, like, she doesn't have all the answers or she doesn't know everything. So I'd be definitely interested to see that. Yeah, they definitely like, I just don't the thing about season 6 is I don't understand. Yeah, like, yes, I understand them saying, "Let's go let's do, like, a murder mystery," and the way they use the cold opens of season 6 to do this kind of, "Oh, everybody had a motive," like, that was good, but the fact that they didn't even like, they built the whole season around who killed Jenny, and even before I thought that I have a video, about the interrogation tapes and the whole "Who Killed Jenny" thing because they were even going into season 6, like, we who watched the show knew someone was dying, like, that's what they were teasing all, the few months before season 6 came out, and then to not wrap it up, like, so insane. Oh, yeah, Striker, that could be a way to bring, Peggy and Helena back. I was saying this earlier in the video before you came, Striker, like, and Barbara before you came too. I don't know why they won't bring them back. It's such a win that they're missing out on. And Rachel Shelley is like always saying how she wants to come back, and Holland Taylor would be there in a second if they wrote her back in. Oh my gosh. So let me tell you guys something. So, I was saying before last night I was like hanging out with my landlord and his wife and I are like friends, and well, he has teenagers and then they have like a baby who's like 2. And let me show you this picture. Our front door, they put all this glitter, like as if to be like snow that Santa tracked in. Let me show you. I'm going somewhere with this story, I promise. So this is like downstairs now. See, all that is all glitter from the front door and flour, and it's been there since Christmas Eve. So every time I walk up the stairs, my shoes get glitter stuck to them. So my front door has all this glitter. And Miss G, when she sees my car come, she knows, oh, she's gonna come upstairs. So my house is all hardwood. So she lies at the door and like rolls around waiting for me to open the door. And she is like covered in glitter at the moment because there's just glitter everywhere. I feel like she's gonna have trauma for like 2 months or something. Aren't you? The art world is very easy and nice way to have characters come or be introduced. Becca Taylor talking to Peggy or Hannah phone like to yeah, that is really true. It is a really it's like Alice's show. It's a very easy situation to like Alice can bring in real guest stars as guests and not have to force them into some storyline or some sort of relationship or knowing another character. And it's the same thing with Bet. Like, so many people could just be an artist that she's working with. Oh, my brother-in-law just texted me. No, give me that. Remember what's HYUS? There are so many new characters now in GQ. Who's come It's so adorable. That is, yeah, there's a lot of glitter mess. I am probably gonna wrap up soon, guys. If you have any final things that you want me to talk about, let me know. So before the first trailer, there was no info about the storylines. You mean like they'll release? Because normally they'll start, well, actually no, they'll probably do a teaser trailer soon. I would be surprised if by the 1st of February, if we didn't have some form of a trailer by then. I think that by the first week in February, we will get a very general teaser trailer that doesn't, really convey much. And then every month we'll probably start getting more specific ones tailored to the first episode rather than like the whole season. And then they'll start doing like more whenever we get an actual release date, like with the first teaser trailer, I bet you what they'll do is um they'll get put the trailer and then they'll put at the end like season 2 coming fall 2021 or whatever, something really general. And then when they start releasing more specific trailers, they'll start giving us a month and then a date in the month. And then they'll be working towards whatever it is, say September, just picking that out of thin air, that around summertime they'll start doing interviews and releasing more information like stuff about Rosie O'Donnell and things that are it's a bit of information, but it's not really you're not gonna be able to tell a whole lot. And then they'll start way closer to the time releasing like the episode synopsises, and then within a few weeks of it about to air, then they'll start people doing the reviews and things like that too. Oh, Eileen, I do the live normally every Friday at 7 UK, 2 Eastern, and 11 Pacific. So this Friday, I'll be back to the normal time. Or is that Friday New Year's Eve? Let me just open my calendar. Oh no, Thursday. It was a New Year's Day. Yeah, New Year's Day. When she first met Bet, plus Bet seems her happiest when she's in control and has her own art. They can't get back together until they're both happy, especially Bet now because she's most miserable. Yeah, maybe the whole because Tina's the whole like Tina and Art and Snob thing that they went for on season 5. Oh yeah, that. Thank you for saying that about Miss G. I have been brushing it off her, but right now she's just jumped down to go and lie in it again. It's I've mostly swept it up, but I have like this little like brush, like it's like a glove brush for her, so it normally gets it off. But I was probably gonna give her a little bath tomorrow anyway. She's literally like rolling like this now. What are you doing? So weird. Yeah, remember, I don't know if you can remember last year, Steph, the general trailer, the first one. So they started filming in the very end of July, and I think it was, Gee, shush. I think it was the Glory. I've had enough. I think it was Glory. The end of August, very beginning of September, that they did the trailer where like Shane Shane's walking down Glory, the stairs from the plane. And sorry, she's driving me insane. Um, Shut up. Where she's walking down the steps of the plane, and then they had like the few little, but it was really really early stuff from the first episode. Oh, thanks, Brenda. I'm hoping the beginning of February. I mean, just think I think right now they're gonna be really motivated to get something out, like anything out, because it's been so, it's been a year since we've had the show. So and it'll be, 25, 30 seconds really quick. That's what I would do anyway, but I could be wrong, but that's what I think is gonna happen. Ugh, Miss G is always needing my attention. She is such a grump. In the morning, sometimes she comes in at like 5 a.m. and starts doing that till I get up. Any final thoughts or questions, my friends? I'll probably do next is season 5, episode 7, and then Liquid Heat soon. That's going to be a good one to review as well. So I'll probably do on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll do season 5, episode 7. And then, oh gosh, I just wish that we had more season 5. I don't know why whenever I do the rest of season 5, there's only 8 episodes of season 6. So I really, really, when I started reviewing the OG show, I thought, oh, like season 2 will be out by the time I get to like season. I think I was thinking, but by the time I finish season 3, I'd be like taking a break to do season 2, and then I'd do seasons 4, 5, and 6 in the hiatus between season 2 and season 3. But I don't know what I'm gonna do after I finish because I don't know. I really don't think we're gonna get the show back until definitely not before May. So fingers crossed. Start again with season 1. Yeah. Okay, Steph. Oh gosh. Be like, well, I've thought more about it now, and well, thank you so much to everyone who came on Boxing Day. It's so good of you guys to be here and chatting to me. And yeah, like I said, I'll be doing my live on Friday, the 1st of January, which is crazy. And I'll probably get season 5, episode 7 up on Monday or Tuesday. And then I'm doing, yeah, like Sonia, of course, won the giveaway. So the new giveaway will be for my shirts, the OG cast or Generation Q cast. And if you go to the description box or my community page, you can see the links to those and you can purchase them if you want. And I will be doing a Tibet shirt and a Danish shirt. If anyone is really good with graphic design or art, anything, and you want to be involved, let me know because I am not good at that stuff. And yeah, I really, the thing is, you can't use pictures from the show because of copyright. So the Bet and Tina one, definitely wanna do, but I don't want it to just be, say, like, Bet and Tina or something. I want it to be a little bit better than that. So, any thoughts, let me know. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe because then you'll be updated on every video I post. If you haven't caught up on all my advent calendar videos, make sure to catch up on those. And if you're not already following me on social media, go follow me over there too. And I think that is everything. But if you go, you can always reach out to me on social media or the YouTube comment section, and I will always reply to the messages. And let me know if there's anything you'd want to see on the channel video wise or anything that you think would be cool. And I do really love, I said this in, I think it was my last video. I do love so much when something comes out about the L word and you guys like tag me in it. It makes me feel like, oh, they want my opinion. So thank you if you ever do that. And yeah, thank you so much. You guys know how much I love you. You're the best. Make sure to especially stay safe at the moment and it's a crazy world right now, but just stay as safe as you can and be good to each other. All right. I love you guys. Be safe, be good. I'll see you in my next video. I can't stay away, so it'll only be a few days. But have a good rest of your evening and a good rest of your Christmas weekend. Enjoy Monday as well, bank holiday. So, Miss G signing off too. We love you guys. Take care.